you she was going to come out here and make some noise for us.
Oh, yeah.
And she did put on a good smoke show. You can't even see her.
He's way down the track. But you're wondering what they're doing when you see Dave running his hand across the pipes, making sure that the cylinders are all firing in order down there. That's what they do. Making sure everything's good to go. No, the lid is up to clear the smoke.
Attention in the bids, attention in the bids. We're going to call sportsman, Sport Compact, sorry, and staging lanes 3 and 4. Sport Compact, staging lanes 3 and 4. And for the team, we will do staging lanes 5 and 6.
Once again, plug your ears.
Final check. Making sure she's ready. Back down the hatch.
1,400 horsepower. Heavy power.
Get the thumbs up and good to go. And Dave will make sure he gets them to the start line and ready. Sport Compact. Again, semi-final action for our Sport Compact, and then we'll have right on the heels. To the start line right now, the VP Chris Tarasoff driving the 1957 Volkswagen Main. Dialed in with the 1279. He is sponsored in part by his wife Jana, Air-Cooled Plastics, and Novatech. The competition, that is Scott Macier. Regina Racer with a 2003 Ford Focus. He's dialed in with an 1818. So that means Chris Tarasoff is going to have a lot of patience.
You can finish your cup of tea. That's all over before it starts.
Macier draws the red light. You want to get you to the top end of the track.
And you don't want to be getting in trouble with your darling wife.
He gets to the top end with a 12.82 on the 12.79 dial-in and a speed 100.34 miles an hour.
Okay.
One more single lane now. That is Ryan Kirkbar coming up with the Honda Del Sol, dialed in at 12.37.
Is this a single?
Single lane pass, that's right. We know he's going to be coming back in the final against Chris Tarasoff.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, alcohol funny car team with Superbird. Ladies and gentlemen, there she is. And the rest of the team, give her a nice round of applause. A big beer garden round of applause. That Valera. So, is that it? Okay.
So we are changing things up and we're moving over to
well, legal. 5 and 6 is where you do it. Junior, this is your first call to staging lane number 1.
And a couple of VWs on the line. Todd Pan driving the Crazy Caper. That's the VW Bug. He is sponsored by Air Cool Classics and Novatex, dialed in at 1351.
I'd like a dime for every time I've seen these two race side by side. They're best buds. Chris Karasoff is piloting that Manx. Well, that's a wheel. Lovely wife Dana. Who's going to get the win? It is. So
Breakout by Pan at 1344 on the 1351 dial in. So the win to Tirasov.
who runs a 1280 on the 1269 dial in, 101 miles an hour. Penn got there first, but oops, a little too quick.
Got there first and gonna be last. Uh-oh. So again, these are our Sport Compacts.
This weekend of racing action out here at SIR, brought to you by OK Tire Stores, 8th Street, 22nd Street, and Circle Drive.
Max Condors to the line, the BP race lane, driving the 1988 Honda.
Steve Condors, not Max.
Steve Condors, sorry about that. Too many Condors out here.
Oh, no. Never enough.
Steve driving the CRX, and he's dialed in at 1330, sponsored by Hardcore Performance.
This will be good because
Scott Macias.
he's dialed in at 1818, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Just under 5 seconds is what Steve Condors has got to sit there. Now, here we go. He's on due, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Let's see what he does.
And did you notice Scott Macias actually had a perfect light earlier today?
Yeah, he sure did. He was happy about it, too. And who's got the win? Oh, it's an upset for Maceo. He took out Steve Condors. He runs 1838 on the 1818 dial in, 71 miles an hour, but just plain ran Condors out of real estate.
And we have one more pairing to go with our Sport Compact class. On the VP race lane, you'll see the 1997 Honda Del Sol, Ryan Gerspar. Dialed in at 1237.
Oh, yeah, I was wrong. Nicky Schultz is still alive and well. I thought Shelby was the last gasp of air for O'Hanlon. In the little Sunfire, which she says, and I quote, for horsepower, little to none. Aw, dialed in at 1680.
Well, it must seem like that after driving the rear engine dragster,
Well,
I'm sure.
yeah. You know, you go from driving 148 miles an hour.
To,
Yep.
how can I get this going a little bit quicker?
Get the paddles out. So Gerspar is going to sit there. I like bracket racing for this because you know what? It just evens everything up. They're having fun down at the top end, and that's what it's all about. The crowd loves it too. Who's got the win? Well, it's not Nicky.
It's Gerspar with a 12.57 on the 1237 dial in, and a speed 105.75, 91.51 miles an hour. And moving over to Sport Compact, that is Steve Condors. Engelfeld racer driving the 88 the 88 Honda CRX. He is sponsored by Hardcore Performance Specialties, Jacob Condors as well. A big thanks for the use of the seat. And Nikki Schultz changing things up. Problem with the rear engine dragster, so she is driving Mom and Dad's Pontiac Sunfire. Lights drop, both racers are off the line. And as we mentioned earlier, Condors got a little extra juice under the hood. Getting them going a little bit quicker. Heads to the top end on the VP race lane. Stops the clock at 13.46 at 101.86 miles an hour. Schultz with a 16.94, 79.76 miles an hour. And get the sign. Let's keep going through. Scott Macias pulls up on the Prairie Steel lane with the 2003 Ford Focus. And you hear him, that is Ryan Gerspar. Saskatoon racer, he pilots the 97 Honda Del Sol. and Gersmar just inching forward. Both pre-staged. Staged up, and lights drop. And to the top end, Gersmar with a 12.37, 109.77 miles an hour. And you'll notice the Prairie Steel Lane for Mesiag. Want to say, congrats, you just joined the Perfect Flight Club. And you hear him as he comes up to the line with that little VW Bug. Todd Pan, driving a 62 VW Bug, sponsored by Air Cooled Plastics, Novatex, Wertz Welding, and Chris and Harry. And the competition, the 57 VW Manx. That is Chris Tarasoff behind the wheel. Sponsored in part by Driving Force, Recreational Underground Sprinklers, and Calvin's Wheel and Tire. On the Prairie Steel Lane as they head to the top end. Tarasoff gets there and lights it up at 13.003 on the end, and speed is 97.32 miles an hour. Red light on.